What's up, everybody? My name's John with the Real Onlyfans Reviews podcast, and today on the program we've got the very special Miss Kirra Cady. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Kirra, Cady.
Kirra Cady. See, I start over again. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. This morning I had to go buy some clothes because I have a job interview tomorrow that I wasn't expecting to have tomorrow.
The professional attire for that, I guess, huh?
Yeah, well, I've been looking for a job for like a week and a half now because I have some other things coming up that I need money for.
Mm-hmm.
And so I dropped off one of my suits yesterday at the dry cleaner and have them altered a little bit. Then
Right.
this morning, this company hit me up. Hey, we'd like you to come in for an interview tomorrow. I was like, oh, fuck. I actually got this shirt earlier today.
Wow.
I know. Thrift stores are amazing.
I love thrifting. Literally.
See, before today, I never really shopped at thrift stores just because, not for any particular reason, I didn't. But today, I went to this one right down the street from me. And so I found two suits that fit almost perfect. And I got four shirts that are pretty nice. And it was $60. I was like, what the fuck?
Yes. On the low.
I know.
I
I was
love
like, I
that.
got to do this more often.
Mm-hmm. And they're usually in pretty good condition too.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, there's a bunch of bullshit too, but I was like, I was able to find those two suits, and I was like, okay, these are
Yeah.
nice.
You're definitely treasure hunting.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna have to do that more often. So now, as we get going here, how exactly did you come across Real OnlyFans reviews?
I think I was just like browsing subreddits. And I just happened to click on it, and that it was like 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw like the submission forms and like, how you can send a free trial and like have people look at, have it vetted essentially. And I was like, that's
Mm-hmm.
really cool. So I was literally like, I mean, I usually stay up really late anyway, but it was
Yeah,
like
me
3
too.
in the morning and I was sitting there like typing this long ass paragraph. Can I curse?
Yeah.
Okay. I was typing this paragraph and I was like, I don't know, they might see it, they might not. And then the next day I was at the gym and then I think, yeah, you replied to me. And then, I mean, like, I really got into the actual best of the best page and started looking at all the models on there. And I think it's really cool. So I think it's cool that I don't think anybody else is doing that. I thought that
Mm-hmm.
was kind of a unique idea to like vet because I mean, the beauty and the downfall of OnlyFans is that anyone can make one.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be good or bad. So it's good that you came up with that idea.
Yeah, I was just tired of getting ripped off.
Mhm.
I think
Man,
like, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, like, whenever I was getting, well, when I was on Periscope, people would come in there and like be like, "I love your vibes," like blah blah blah, and they'd be like, "You have an OnlyFans?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." They're like, I mean, but like, is there actual like explicit content on there? I'm like, what are these girls doing to y'all? Like, what is happening? That was like why I was like, talking about dishonest models because there's so many out there that are like tainting the entire business for a lot of us that are like actually putting the legwork in. So
Yeah, I think probably the first 10 or 12 pages I subscribed to were all just terrible bullshit. Like everything was PPV. Like there was some nudes, but then like everything you wanted to see was paywall content. I was like, what the fuck is this? What did I just pay for?
yeah. Well, because
And
it's
when
like
I
some
go ahead.
models do the the subscription price is what you pay to talk to them. But it's like if that's the case and you're gonna put that out there like that, you need to respond to their DMs. Like you need to
Mm-hmm.
like actually talk to them because then that's what they're paying for. And then if they feel like it's appropriate for them to have PP, I'm not gonna like trash anybody for having PPV, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
you have to like put a price to whatever service they're paying for initially. You know what I mean? So I don't do a lot of PPV. I mean, honestly, the only times I ever do PPV are if I make a custom and I end up liking how it turns out. I will offer it to the rest of my subs for the same price that that person paid because I'm not going to turn around and post it public. They're going to be like, why did I just pay for that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll do that sometimes. I've probably only done that like 5 times. I have to really, really like it to want to do that. But I was in a Discord group with a bunch of other OnlyFans girls, and I was like, how do you all handle, like, if you make a video and you really like it and you want to offer it to other people, like, how do you all handle that? And this is actually what led me to conduct business this way. Is this girl was like, I just post it, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, but don't you think that's kind of fucked up? Like, somebody paid for that. She was like, well, the guy that ordered it messaged me and was like, why did you post that public? And I told him, like, it's my content. I have all the rights to it. And it's just like, that may be true, but like, conduct yourself with a little, like, be a little bit ethical about it. Like, I don't,
Mm-hmm.
it was just, I thought that was really, really rough. And from then on, I was like, okay, now I know, because I had an example of what I didn't want to be. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is what I'm doing. So.
Yeah, like when I started doing this, I got so much hate from a lot of the OnlyFans girls because I was spilling the beans about what was going on.
You have nothing to hide, then, you
Yeah,
know?
no shit. And it took a minute for them to learn, but I am a big shit talker. Like I worked in a shop for 6 years working on cars.
Wow.
So we don't go easy on each other.
Mhm.
So over that time, I learned how to shit talk pretty well. I'm not what you would call a dull individual. So they would come into the subreddit after I posted a review because it was mostly me at first.
Mhm.
And they'd be like, oh, you fucking broke boys. How dare you? You just can't afford this, that, and the other. And I'd be like, let's talk some shit. So,
Yeah, like, it's just not it's not it's not a, like, a gray area. You're either pricing your shit right or you're not. And I'm not even
mhm,
one to be like, it's like, I don't know. It's subjective to everyone. I get that. But past a certain point, it's just like, what are you doing? Like, if you're charging
mhm.
anywhere from 15 to $50 a month, because there are girls that charge that high end for lewds, like
Yep.
for bikini photos that you probably have on Instagram, like, that's just not okay, man. You're robbing people at that point. So,
Yeah. I hope people know that I'm not against PPV videos at all. I mean, I'm a business owner. I want everybody else to make their money,
mhm,
but you got to be ethical about your shit. I mean, if you have a subscription price, it needs to be worth what you're asking.
yeah.
And then if you want to sell PPVs on top of that, that's fine, but just make sure that the base subscription is worth paying for. Like I hated it when I subscribe to these girls who you subscribe and then, like you said, is all lewds and whatnot on the main feed. And then it's like, well, hold up. Like, first of all, these girls were never on OnlyFans, so they weren't interacting with their fans.
Yeah.
Second of all, they wanted to parade behind, oh, well, my subscription price is the same as going into a strip club. I'm like, bitch, no. If you go to a strip club, you can actually interact with somebody in person and get a lap dance in person, have somebody fucking grind up on you. That's what a
Yeah.
strip club admission is,
Yeah.
not to watch a video that you sold to fucking 2 or 3 thousand people. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's crazy. Honestly, and it's also like pricing PPV too. Like, some of the prices I see on like 2 and 3 minute videos, I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
some of
my
these
my
girls.
pricing on pre-made videos is $5 a minute. So like, if I send
Hmm.
you a 2 minute PPV because it was a custom, you're only paying $10 for it. And if it's something that I made on my own, like, gumption, like I just made, that goes up for free. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It's just like, you have to, like, it's like a balancing act. You have to, like, divide your time, you know, equally, but also, like, you have to put time into your, like, subs that are paying to be there. And then if you have, like, I do something called rebillers perks. So every
Hmm.
single day, my rebillers get either a photo or a video. It might just be like a minute long Snapchat video of me doing something. It might be a photo. But every single day they get that. So, they're getting my daily posts. Or even if I'm only posting, like, like during Christmas, I posted every other day. They're getting all that content, but just keeping rebill on gets them double the amount of content. So I'm just trying to, like, I'm trying to make it worth it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Money.
you have a great page. Like, I'm not gonna tell people something is great when it's not, because I mean, then that ruins my credibility.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, some of these girls are charging like $80 for a 30-second video or 1-minute video, and then you don't even know if it's nude or not. It was like, where the fuck how do you think this is worth it? Like, these girls say, oh, well, it's my body, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, it is your body, and you should definitely respect it how you feel fit, but you're
Yeah.
not selling your body, you're selling your content. Like,
Yeah.
there's a very big difference between you as a person and what you produce. Like,
Yeah.
what's his name? Fucking movie director. Michael Bay isn't like, oh, this fucking Transformers movie is my body. It's like, no, it's something that you produced.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I mean, with the whole Bella Thorne thing happening, it's almost like, I don't know. It's like if you're a celebrity, it's still shitty for you to do that, like for you to
Mhm.
like overprice yourself. But it's like some of these models, like where they send like literally like a photo set with 3 bikini pictures and they price it at like $20 to $30. I'm like,
And
you're
they
just,
posted it on Instagram.
yes, like you're just literally ruining your own business. Not only are you ruining your own business, you're making it way harder for other people to like to succeed. And you know, with COVID, the market is mega saturated. And before
Mhm.
I did OnlyFans, like back when I was, I don't know, I think I was like 20 and 21,
Mhm.
I had done like, you know, my free cams, chatterbait. I had done that stuff. And then I
Mhm.
stopped. So I was new to OnlyFans going into it, but I wasn't new to sex work. You know what I mean? But seeing how, like, I remember promoting myself for like streaming sites, and there wasn't that many people doing it. I mean, there was a lot, but now, like, seeing on like Reddit and Twitter, like, it is insane the amount of people that are doing this. And it also makes me wonder, I'm like, are these girls that are doing this because they have to, or because they're in a financial hard spot? Like, are they going to keep doing this whenever they can go back to work or whenever COVID has died down? Or do you think that like they're gonna, I guess it depends on how lucrative it is for them. I think that some women that would have never thought about doing this are probably making so much money that they're like, I'm not going back to work. Are you serious?
Yeah, like, how would I get a job now?
Yeah, yeah. I think that probably some of the people that aren't making it's not as lucrative for will probably go back to work, but I'm very interested to see what the market looks like, if and when this ever goes away.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we have the vaccine now, so I don't know.
Multiple, right? I've heard we have like a few.
Yeah, I think there are like 3 companies that have vaccines or something like that.
Yeah, they're
But
all like, clawing each other's eyes out to sell more.
yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna get the vaccine because it was developed in like 10 months, and normally vaccines take like 10 years to develop.
Yeah,
So
it is
I'm like,
scary. It's scary.
out of an abundance of caution, I'm gonna say no.
Honestly, like I don't go anywhere.
Hmm.
You know, like my partner works in HVAC. Everywhere he
Hmm.
goes into somebody's house, he's wearing a mask because of the insulation anyways. You know what I mean? I don't go, I obviously work from home. If I go to the grocery store, I'm there for an hour, I put a mask on. I feel like I would probably feel more inclined to get it if I was like one in like a way bigger city and two like, you know, constantly out and about. But I'm a
Hmm.
homebody, so I'm just like hiding in my house, making porn. I'm gonna let y'all do that
Living
first.
your best life.
Yeah, I'll let y'all do that first, and then you know, as long as y'all don't grow an extra arm, then I'll do it later. You know?
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I think some people should definitely get the vaccine, especially like the older set.
Oh
But I
yeah,
mean,
no, for
like
sure.
younger people like us, I mean, I'm only, how old am I?
I'm
31?
31. I'm
Am I
28.
31?
Turned
I was born in
28.
89. I don't know how old I am anymore. I stopped keeping track.
I
I
was
was
born
born
in
in
92, so
89.
yeah, you're 31.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck, how old am I? I don't even know anymore. Anyway, it's not important.
I was pleasantly surprised this year on my birthday. My birthday's in December, and
Hmm.
for like the entire year, I thought I was about to turn 29. Like I forgot. And then my mom was like, "Happy birthday!" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "How's it feel to be 2 years away from 30?" And I was like, "Two?" She's like, "Yeah, you're 28." And I was just like, "Oh my god!" I thought I was right on the verge. I'm only, you know, I'm still a skip and a hop away, but not that bad.
You're still a baby in your 20s.
Oh
Hey.
God. I'm not that scared of being 30 in my 30s. I've heard that it's better than being in your 20s anyway.
I
Because
don't
in your
know.
20s, you're constantly beating yourself up, and like I feel like the judgment factor is a lot more. Like honestly, if I would have tried, well, I did, like I said, I did do sex work when I was 21, and everybody that I
Mhm.
knew about it, and they were a lot more judgmental than now. That's another thing that COVID has done that's actually like a really cool thing, is that like where so many people are having to do sex work, the stigma is starting to die down, because like Karen and Becky over there that would have been like, have to do it now. So they're like, well, it's not so bad.
Like, well, you can't judge. The Bible said, nah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do like that, because like everybody, I mean, my whole family, everybody knows I do OnlyFans. Like
Mhm.
everybody, obviously, like I don't want to tell the younger members of my family, like when we're at dinner and stuff, everybody like doesn't. My mom got uh had a little bit of wine the other day and said something out loud, and I was like, she's like, oh shit, sorry.
like, Mom, you need to chill.
I was like, no, don't. She was like, oh, I didn't even think about it. But yeah, no, I know a lot of girls that do this like completely. I mean, nobody knows. You know what I mean? I know
Mhm.
a couple that like know, like they're like literally like, and the only reason that I know is because I do it, you know?
Mhm.
So they confide in me, but like their friends, like their vanilla friends, their family, nobody knows. I'm like, God, I'm glad everybody knows. I don't think I would want to carry a secret around like that. It sounds awful.
Yeah, I had one person ask me to review their OnlyFans, not to promote or anything, but I was reading it and they said that they were a school teacher. And I immediately emailed, I was like, listen, I'm all for OnlyFans and whatnot, but you need to delete every single thing that shows your face in all of your content, like now.
Yeah,
Like,
you're gonna lose
I
your
know
job.
that we're cool with this, but whatever school you work for and whatever county, whatever the fuck, they're not going to be cool with it. If somebody finds out about this, I mean, you're
But
fucked unless you're going to leave being a
shitty
teacher and go to
though.
OnlyFans.
I fucking hate that. I hate that. I
Yeah.
hate that. Like you should be able to do both. It does not mean that you're like it doesn't jeopardize your ability to handle children. Like that's crazy. Well, it's good that you warned her. What
Yeah.
did she say? Was she like, oh shit? Or
I don't know. I don't know if she's read the email yet. I emailed her last night, probably like
oh fuck.
sometime around midnight.
God.
But yeah, I was
God.
like, what are you thinking? I mean, yeah, you should be able to do whatever you want, but the reality, well, the fact of the matter is you can't. Like,
No. Which is why a
that's
lot of
just not
girls
how it is.
wear like masks and shit, you know,
Yeah.
because of other professions and stuff.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
some of the girls I've promoted, even on the Best of the Best page, one of them is a legit doctor, like a physician, and she loves getting fucked in the face. It's like hardcore shit, like throw up on the dick and keep fucking her face. I'm like,
But
Jesus Christ. Like, yeah,
yeah,
she definitely needs to keep that shit under wraps. But I'm just like, wow. Would have never thought of this from an actual doctor, but it takes all types.
the duality. I love it. I love that like you can see a person on the street and like not know that. I feel like I kind of wear it outwardly. I feel like most people that like talk to me for even half a second like hear my foul mouth and like sexual jokes, and they're probably like, "Oh, she be getting it on camera." Like,
They're like, you sell nudes?
yeah.
Can
I
I
feel
see
like
them?
but some women and men like literally like her. I'm sure she doesn't like wear that. I'm sure like nobody knows. Like it's crazy. And like Max, my partner and shooting partner, like I told you, like he does HVAC, but
Hmm.
like he's not gonna get fired over that because of his, you know what I mean? Like it's like he works with a bunch of good old boys. Some of
Yeah,
them know that he appears in my stuff and they don't really care, but like more professional work settings, like
I
he
can
cares.
just imagine a customer calling, "Hey, so your guy that fixed my AC the other day?" And they're like, "Ma'am, which guy?" And you're like, "The one with the huge cock."
Right?
Oh, you mean what is he, Max? Like,
That
yeah. Could you
yeah, it's
imagine?
fun. Yeah, oh my god. It's so funny. Somebody on Reddit actually saw a post that I made with him in it
Mm-hmm.
and DM'd me and they were like, I want to buy photos of him. And I was just like, okay. We weren't even
well,
advertising him, but okay.
if you insist, I mean.
Yeah. I was like, I got plenty, and I showed him the DMs and he was like, what? And I've told him 1,000 times. I'm like, you should make your own OnlyFans. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'll take the pictures and post them. Like, I'll run the page if you want me to. But like, you got a lot of people, mostly in the gay community, that like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they like you. And he's just like, I don't know. I was like, man, just let me know. Let me know when you're ready.
You're like, well, it won't hurt to have an extra income.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and he's just, I don't know. He's like, you wouldn't be able to tell it from like the content we shoot, but he's
Mm-hmm.
like very introverted,
Yeah.
like extremely introverted, which is crazy because like the last live stream we did, he was there with me. It was like the beginning of January, and he literally poured honey all over my parts on camera, and it was like a honey sampler. So he was
Mm-hmm.
like reviewing. It was really funny. He was like reviewing the different types of honey for everybody watching. So like it's so funny because he's mostly introverted, but then sometimes like he pops off like that, and I'm like, who are you? What are you doing? But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I do like making content with him a whole lot. My content on my page is probably it's probably like 30%, like 30% boy girl, and then like
Mm-hmm.
70%
Well, why
solo.
don't you give us a rundown of your OnlyFans?
Like just like everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's almost 500 photos on there now.
Mm-hmm.
There's over 150 videos. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't do PPV unless it is a custom that I really like. And obviously, I don't want to put that out there for free. So I will offer it to everyone else for the same price that the original commissioner paid for it. I do live shows at least once a month just because I have to
Mm-hmm.
like, really plan for those. I try to do them like twice a month. I'm doing one this Friday.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes
That-
honey's involved.
sometimes, yeah. Most of the time, it's boy girl involved.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously he has another job, so unless he's just like beat, he'll usually be sitting there taking requests with me. I do a spin the wheel game that's also a lot of fun. I have a $5 tier and a $10 tier. And all of those videos are obviously reflective of the amount that you spent. So the $5 prizes are a little bit less than the $10 prizes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have a couple subs that are addicted to that game. They literally message me every day with $5 or $10, like spin the wheel, spin the wheel. Y'all have a gambling problem, but okay. But yeah, so I do those. Let's see, what else? There's so many things. I do holiday themed content. I mean, I feel like a lot of models do that. Um, God, I like wrote a whole paragraph for you, and I'm like blanking on my page.
Well, let me try to help you out a little bit. So, as far as your pictures go, they're all pretty high quality, all very well lit. Show you everything that you want to see, which is great. Like you said, sometimes you have themes. I don't remember. Do you do any cosplay stuff?
Yeah, there's a Velma cosplay on my
Mm-hmm.
page. There's like a Mrs. Claus thing around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
Random stuff. Not I want to get into more like real cosplay. I really want to cosplay Chell from El Dorado, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh God, yes.
I
Do
want
I?
I want to cosplay her so bad
You
because
would
my
be
hair,
perfect for her.
yeah, because my hair is already like the bangs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I might put that costume on my wish list. There's also a Catwoman costume that's on my wish list right now that I really want.
Mm-hmm.
One, it's pricey. Two, when it gets here, I'm going to have to sew a zipper into the crotch because I can't like you can't do Catwoman content with the costume off. Like you can't take it
Mm-hmm.
off. So yeah, I want to get into more cosplay, but there's a couple things. There's a couple.
Man, let me tell you this. If there was a cartoon character I would fuck, well, there's two of them. There's Jessica Rabbit and Shell.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
both of
Chelsea's
those.
thick, man. She's just
She stupid dick.
dude. Did you know? Do you remember the scene with her and fucking was it Tulio, the dark-haired one? Do you remember that scene? Watching that as a kid and being like I remember watching that scene where she's like giving him a massage and it being so erotic for me as a kid. Like I was like, and now when I watch it, I'm like, why did they put this in a kid's show?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember the movie at all.
Dude, go back and watch it. And that scene where she's massaging him, like they pretty much hook up. Like
Mhm.
it doesn't show that part, but she like tackles him and whatever. But the prequel to that, like the foreplay, is just so adult themed. Like I can't like it's just crazy. And now when I
It's
watch it, I'm
like
like,
the Lion King where Simba and Nala fuck.
yeah, yeah. And like you don't think about that as a kid, you know?
No, I did. I remember when I was watching Lion King and that love scene came on. I was like, hold up. These lions about to fuck right now? Like Disney, what is you showing us?
Oh my God. I don't know. I was
Look.
also really sheltered as a kid, which
Mm-hmm.
might explain what I do now. But I was raised like Baptist Christian,
Mm-hmm.
no sex before marriage, like modest clothes. I remember getting in trouble on a youth group trip because I had tied my t-shirt up and my lower back was showing. I was
Oh
not allowed
God.
to listen to secular music. I couldn't watch Harry Potter or Pokemon because witchcraft and evolution. Um, yeah. And it sucks. You know why? Because everybody else in my age bracket has this deep-seated nostalgia for Pokemon and Harry Potter. And I don't. And I want to. Like it looks like so magical and so fun, but they didn't get their hooks in me when I was a kid, you know? So I'm like,
So I remember when I was a kid and Pokemon came out, I didn't actually understand the concept of Pokemon. I just wanted the cards. I didn't understand that there was a whole game that goes along with it. I was like, I got a fucking Bellsprout. And then they said that there's a game and then you fight them. And I never looked up the rules because I never gave a fuck. I was like, I got this cool card and there's a lizard on it.
yeah, yeah. Dude, I didn't even understand when I was a kid why I wasn't allowed to watch it. That's the one thing is like if you're going to like if there's going to be like a religious reason or a safety reason that you take something away from your kids, you should probably tell them because I remember being so confused. Like
Mm-hmm.
I remember being like, why can't I watch this cartoon? It's a cartoon. Like I don't understand. And then later on, I actually had somebody else tell me. I was like, yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch Pokemon growing up, but I don't really know why. And they were like, evolution. And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, because the Pokemon evolve like into, you know, bigger and like better or more equipped Pokemon. So it's like, it's an evolution thing. I was like, you really have a pastor up there behind a pulpit and that is what he's choosing to talk.
Of all the things going on in the world, these fucking Pokemon evolving. Oh.
Oh my gosh, that was like the perfect Powerpuff Girls mayor voice. I've never heard somebody capture that so well. That
Oh,
sounded
what can I say?
is that what you were trying to do?
No, that was just my voice
Your
for that.
your preacher voice?
Yeah, that was my voice for that character. So
Okay.
what I often do this thing where I imagine a person in my head and then I create a voice for them. They're all terrible, by the way, and they almost all sound the same. But
Oh
that was just what I chose for that one.
my god. Well, it
Yep.
literally like my brain was like the mayor from Powerpuff Girls. Like immediately. That was so funny.
Whenever I think of Powerpuff Girls, I just think of Mojo Jojo.
I love Mojo Jojo. I liked him a little better though. The like devil one with the crab claws.
See, if there was a cartoon character that would confuse kids, it was him.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this a man? It reminds me of the Michael Jackson
Yeah.
joke. Is this a man? Yes. Is it a woman? Yes. Oh, it's Michael Jackson.
I've seen some really good cosplays for him on TikTok though. Oh,
Mhm.
that's another thing that we could probably talk about. I'm like literally always on that fucking app. Like
I
literally.
fucking love TikTok so much.
I do too. I started making videos back in 2018 and like I was
Mhm.
just fucking around and
Back
then
when it was musically.
yeah, pretty much. And then somehow, I mean, it's not anything crazy. Like I'm not in like the like I don't have like millions or anything, but I have like almost 30K. So that's kind of
Damn.
cool. I mean, but like you know what sucks about TikTok is 30K equals out to like maybe 100 likes on your
Yeah.
video. Like the algorithm, and I'm probably shadow banned because I've said stuff about OnlyFans on there before, and actually they didn't have any rules in place for it until more recently, like a
Hmm.
couple months ago, and then they put their new terms of service out, and they were like, no advertising sexual services or
Hmm.
premium accounts. And every sex worker I know on there was like, all right. And they were like putting PSAs out there, like, take your OnlyFans link out of your link tree, take down any video you have that tags like lonely hands, or, we'll do OnlyPans. Like, there's like stealthy hashtags that we had to use for a while to get past the algorithm trying to suppress those videos. And then at the
Only
same time,
pans.
yeah, lonely hands is my go-to. But at the same time, Instagram was also putting the hammer down on sex workers, and then you have like all like this whole movement of evangelist Christians trying to completely eradicate porn under this guise that they give a fuck about human trafficking, when that's really not like. And then you go to their website, their cancel porn website, and the first like 3 or 4 sentences talk about sex trafficking, and then the rest of the entire page talks about how it's not godly, it's ruining people. It's crazy. So I don't know. Being a sex worker in this day and age is more accepted because, like I said, COVID has more people doing it, but it's also like, it's like swimming upstream. Like, it's literally like just swimming against religious tide, And like I said, I was raised Baptist Christian, and I know how those fuckers operate. Like, just super, super judgmental.
Yeah, there's another girl. Her name's Amaya Morena. She's an activist, and so she knows a lot about this. I'm trying to get a podcast together with her.
Yeah.
But she knows all about that stuff, and a lot of the problems are with the religious people who have connections in government.
Politics.
And it's like all these motherfuckers want to just try to control people. It's like, didn't the Bible say to just like love and accept people for what they are? I don't.
You shouldn't say separation of church and state. I mean,
Yeah, it's like I think it said it's not your job to judge people. I think I'm not religious, but I think that was pretty clear in the Bible, if I'm not mistaken.
But that entire religion cherry picks everything that they want. I mean, like,
I know.
the word homosexual wasn't even in the Bible.
Yeah.
The word that is translated in that verse is literally for pedophiles. But you can't say that because the church is full of pedophiles. So,
Oops.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know.
Well, the Bible also says you can sell your daughter into slavery as long as it's not to a foreigner. So I mean, fuck it. Let's pick and choose.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm really happy to be out of that. I don't know. Looking back, I posted a TikTok recently of a video of these girls that were no older than like 11 or 12, and they were like speaking in tongues and shit. And like crying and stuff. And I posted it on TikTok, like green screen with it behind me. And I was like, I cannot believe that I was raised around stuff like this. And I thought it was like completely normal. Like, it's just crazy. But if that tells you anything, I feel like, don't over shelter your kids, or they might end up on OnlyFans.
Yeah, and I also want to be clear about something. Like, I do believe in a creator because existence. But as far as like the whole Jesus story and all that, nah. Sorry, bro.
I think it's an alien.
Fucking, it could be. I don't know. That viewpoint is literally as valid as any other.
Yeah, that just seems like the most viable option to me. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, but then who created the aliens?
I don't know. I just know that we're like on a flying rock in an endless void, and that fact. I said this to Max the other day when we were in the car. I was like, it is crazy to me, like, when I sit back and observe like the human experience, like how we are not. First of all, firstly I said that we are not all like fucking emotional messes over the fact that nobody knows why the fuck we're here, and we're literally just on a flying rock in space, like with no aim.
We're on a giant spinning rock orbiting a giant fucking ball of fire in a vast pool of literally nothingness.
And nobody knows why, like that's
nobody knows how. Yeah.
And so I said, like, I can't believe that we're not all just like anxiety ridden over that. And I was like, well, I guess we are. We probably just don't know that that's the reason why. Like everybody has mental health issues, and that's probably a lot to do with it. Because I remember being raised in the church and like being told this is what happens when you die. Like heaven and hell, if you're a good person, blah, 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 whatever. And then I, reached 15, 16 years old, started doing my own research, and that safety net was dropped from me. So like that created a lot of fucking like spiraling in my head. I'm like, okay, well, I know that that's bullshit, like, or in my mind, it's bullshit. So like, I don't know. That's just like the struggle of the human experience, I guess. But I don't know. Yeah, religion, not my bag anymore.
A lot of things aren't strictly black and white. Like faith is good for a lot of people. I mean, if you're not, some fucking crazy person, it actually does do a lot of good for a lot of people. And there are a lot of good teachings in the Bible for, how to treat other people. So there are good aspects to it. I mean, I can't say it's all bad because it's not the truth. But when you start to get, radical fundamentalists or whatever the fuck, that's when it becomes a problem. I'm pretty sure God wasn't sitting up on his whatever the fuck one day. He's like, you know what? Everybody tell everybody else how to live their lives. And if they don't agree with you, fucking kill them. I mean, that's the Old Testament, but
well, like, I mean, we went to multiple different churches when I was a kid, and I could say truly in every single one of them, there was at least one aspect of just complete hate and bigotry that I saw. Like, even if like for the majority of the time they were being like, nice, like I would see some shit go down and be like, okay. And in my head, I'm like, that's wrong. Right. Like my child brain was like, I don't think that's right. But
yeah, it's so funny how the people who go to church are often the very things that they say they don't like. It's like you're telling people you don't like this, that, and the other, but you are literally this, that, and the other. So
yeah, the hypocrisy is crazy.
Yeah, you don't realize this. But also I was gonna say the thing that should really trip people out about existence is how did we go from fucking dirt and minerals and shit to conscious beings? Like, how did that happen? Like, we went from literal stardust to let's start an OnlyFans.
Right. I don't know. I feel like it's alien intervention. I really do. Like,
I mean, possibly, but where did those aliens come from?
I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe they're the God that everybody talks about, the creator. Like, maybe they're like the cooperative that made us and all societies before us. I don't know. I'm like getting into some ancient alien shit now.
They came from another dimension.
Yeah. Dude, the Mandela effect shit though is like crazy.
Like, oh yeah, like the Berenstein Bears and the Bernstein Bears.
Bro, my grandma had those fucking books and it was Berenstein. It was Stein. Like, I know for a fact it was. So that tripped me out. There was another one that came up recently. Oh, there used to be a robber emoji on Apple phone. Do you remember it?
Yep.
Okay, no, there wasn't. False. Fake news. Like,
we're being fucked with so hard.
Dude, I looked it up yesterday. I was like, because I needed to use it. And I was like, I need a robber emoji. And I couldn't find it. And then I was like, I'm going to Google this shit. And then the first hit was like, Mandela effect. Do you remember a robber emoji? And I'm like, yes. What the fuck?
Time travelers are fucking with us.
Dude.
Did you ever see the series on, I think it was on Hulu, 11/22/63? So what it was a guy finds this portal back in time to before, what's his face? Kennedy was assassinated. And so it was like, goes back to a few years before that. And then the whole thing culminates basically to the Kennedy assassination, and he can change the world and all this stuff. And then he doesn't. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was all about time traveling and going back and forth between one part of time and another. It was only like 6 episodes, but it was a pretty great series.
It's on Hulu?
Yep. I think it was a Hulu. It might be Netflix. I don't have Netflix anymore because of Cuties, but yeah.
Oh, because of Cuties. I only saw YouTube videos about that. I never actually watched it.
I watched the very beginning of it and enough to see her do her thing. And I was like, Yeah, it's gonna be a no for me, dog.
I saw all the critiques, and then I saw a really creepy video of this like man that was like obviously a fucking creep, like talking about it really gross. And I was like, okay, like what is this? And then after a couple YouTube reviews, I was like, I'm not even gonna watch it. Like, cause I was curious at first. I was like, okay, like
Mhm.
what are people really freaking out about this? But then I was like, dude, like everything that I've heard, that's pretty fucked. I still have Netflix, but I really don't even know why, because there's not shit on there.
No, there's like a bunch of shows on Netflix that I want to watch. Like some of my favorite comedians have new shows on there. I want to see them so bad, but I was like, God damn it! Why must I have morals?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I mean,
terrible.
I heard they were trying to get that Cuties movie taken down completely, but I don't think
Well,
they
yeah,
did.
they were trying to, but they didn't, as far as I know, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
it
The
just is
like
what it is.
a French lady or something. I think she's not from America.
Well, is a French movie about, I think it was a Middle Eastern girl.
Hmm.
He was growing up in French, and then these French kids are twerking and shit, and the Middle Eastern girl's like, "Oh, I want to do that. That looks fun."
Yeah,
And
but
it
yeah,
wasn't good.
I saw all the YouTubers that I saw break down the scenes, and they didn't show the clips, but they like described them, and I was just like, there is no way. Like, how did this even get like what? And they're actually like 11, 9, 10. Like it'd be
Yeah.
one thing if you had like really young looking actresses portraying minors, but it's like you made a movie condemning sexualizing children by sexualizing children. Like
Yep.
that makes zero sense. I don't get it.
I
And that's
guess it
the
makes
other
sense to the
thing,
French.
like with social media putting like TikTok or Instagram putting these, bans in place for certain types of content, like, the general argument is like we have to keep the kids safe. I get that completely. I also would monitor my child's screen time a little bit. Honestly, I would not let my kid on TikTok. Like, there's no way. Yeah, it started out as a kids app. It's not anymore. Like, there's
Nope.
so much, dude. There's prison TikTok. There's literally cartels moving fucking bricks
Oh,
on
Cartel
TikTok.
Talk is one of the best ones.
It's insane. Yeah. So like, I just don't feel like the internet. If you don't want your child to be influenced by something like that, they shouldn't be on the internet at all. Because, like, dude, I remember being, God, I was like 5 or 6, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was on my dad's computer, and I just wanted a girly website that I could play games on and stuff. So I typed in
Mhm.
girls.com. And I fucking I don't remember what I saw. I probably blocked it out, but I guess I saw some shit. And my mom found out about it because my mom and dad split time with me, and my mom was
Mhm.
livid. But I was like, you can't really be mad at my dad. I was just like left alone with the computer. Um, Case in point, don't leave your kid alone with the internet. Like straight up, it's not a good idea.
Yep. I remember when I was a kid, VHSs were still popular. And
Hmm.
so I was watching Speed Vision because I love cars and I still liked cars way back then. And there was a video cassette series of like all these really bad racing car wrecks. I told my grandpa, "Oh, I want this." And so he ordered it for me. And
Right.
then we got it and I watched it. And there were some segments of car shows and women in their little scantily bikinis and whatnot. And I was
Mhm.
like, "Whoa." So apparently my grandparents thought it was a little bit too much, and so they sent the tapes back. And they didn't tell me they were doing that. I just went to look for them one day because I wanted to see the crashes. And I asked my grandma where the tapes went, and she's like, "We sent those back because of those girls in their scantily bikinis." And I was like, "Oh shit."
You're like, damn it.
I was like, "I was just watching for the car crashes."
So funny. That is so funny. I remember going on a business trip with my stepdad, and like I'm the oldest of four, so they
Mhm.
went on a date night in the restaurant of the hotel, and we were supposed to me and my older sister were supposed to watch my two little brothers. And they were out for a while, and we all fell asleep, but we had fell asleep with HBO on. Apparently, when my parents came back, we were all passed out in the beds, and there was like softcore porn playing on the TV. And my mom woke me up. Like, if that doesn't tell you that I was like the designated black sheep of the family, my mom woke me up and was like, "What were you watching?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "There was porn on this." And I was like, "I don't know. We were watching Spider-Man." Like, you expect these
Why are you
things.
mad at me, Mom? You pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. So I don't know. It's crazy. Social media's rules and guidelines, I understand. At the same time, if kids are gonna be tainted or affected, influenced by things, like that's literally just gonna happen. Like, especially in the age of technology we're in right now, like literally 6-year-olds have iPads. 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds have iPads.
Oh, I hate it when I see little kids with iPads. I'm like, oh, that is such a bad idea.
Yeah. Give your kids some blocks.
Yeah.
I mean, I get like, closer to 10 years old, I get a kid having a phone even.
Yeah,
You
but
know
a
what I
4-year-old,
mean? No. No. They're not going
like,
anywhere. Yeah.
obviously, if anybody ever listened to this, we get hate, but nobody listens to this. So, but yeah, like kids that small shouldn't have electronics. Like your 4-year-old shouldn't need to watch a fucking YouTube video to calm down.
No. I don't think we get hate for it, honestly. I think that a
Well, yeah,
lot of
because nobody watches this. This will get
well,
like 150 views.
well, that's views. That's views, and everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is a lot of people share that notion. Like, a lot of people are like, why are you using that
Yeah,
as a
until
base?
you get fucking Becky from the trailer park. You don't tell me how to fucking raise my kid. I'll do whatever I want. Smoke
I
crack.
feel like I feel like Becky or Karen from the trailer park, if they found a channel called Real OnlyFans Reviews, it would literally just be because they were looking for something to hate on anyway. So
Oh yeah. I mean Becky, Karen, Brenda, Glenda. What are some other ones? Anything with the enda.
yeah,
Like when
yeah.
I was in sales, god damn. So I hated it. First of all, Karens were terrible. I hated Karens.
Always.
Glenda's were always terrible. Brenda's could go either way. Sometimes Brenda's were amazing, and other times Brenda's were total pieces of shit.
Yeah.
What else? Becky's didn't have any problem with Becky's. Um, what were
Mackenzie's
the?
always me.
Well, see, I was selling insurance to mostly senior citizens, so I didn't really have any Mackenzies. So I
I
don't
was
know how they are.
I served at Cheesecake Factory for like 2.5 years. And funny enough, that's probably where I gained the majority of my weight. From
The
September.
majority of your weight, you weigh like 105 pounds.
No, 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 no. I've lost 70 pounds
Oh, nice.
since
Congratulations.
September 2019. So it's been like a little over a year. Um, but yeah, I was like, what was I, like 210 or 215?
Mm-hmm.
And one day, like, I had tried like a few different times and like fell off the wagon or whatever. And one day I was just like, I want a porn star body. Like, that was literally, and that's like, it sounds funny, but that's literally like, I was like, and I hadn't even planned on doing OnlyFans, like, or sex work again by this point. I was just like, I just want to feel good without my clothes on. Like, that's
Mm.
it. And I was like miserable. And like, I remember going camping one time and it was so hot outside and I was chafing between my thighs so bad that I bled, like it broke the
Ooh.
skin. It was just, dude, it was just a very, it was a very uncomfortable existence. And I was like, either I'm gonna live my life like this for the rest of my life and be miserable, or I'm gonna like work toward something better. And so I
Mm.
did keto for a few months. That really just taught me how to look at my food a little bit more, like pay attention to what I was putting in my mouth. And then yeah, and then I um stopped doing that. And then I just started doing like macros counting, and like I go to the gym almost every single day.
Mhm.
But and it's just funny because then, like, it was probably like 10 to 20 pounds ago. I was sitting there talking to Max, and I think we went past like a TikTok of some girl that started OnlyFans. And I was like, this is a lot of expendable income if you do it right. You know what I mean? Like, even 1,000 extra bucks a month is something like that
Yeah,
helps.
significant
And
to a lot of people.
Yeah. And he was like, do it. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah. He's like, also, like, I mean, you've worked this hard on your body, like, do it. And I was just like,
Mhm.
I don't know. And I was a little nervous. And my TikTok account helped me get my first subs. And then honestly, that's one of the reasons why the Periscope permaband hit me so hard, because a lot of my subs, like literally at one point, easily 60 to 70% of my subs came from Periscope. Because it
Mhm.
was just people that were surfing that saw me. I like twerk a little bit. Like I'd usually be in some kind of like cute outfit and just sit there and talk to people.
Hey.
Yeah, like, and like literally just chat about nothing
Mhm.
essentially. And then, I would keep my iPad next to me and I would kind of like this. I don't know if this sounds shitty. If it does, I'm sorry. But I would pretty much like I would set like an hour timer and I would be like, I'm gonna stream for an hour. If I don't get 3 to 5 subs in this hour, I'm gonna stop. And so I would
Mhm.
keep the iPad with the timer on, and every like 20 minutes I would check and see. And if I didn't get that amount of subs or whatever, I'd be like, all right, guys, I'm really tired. I'm gonna go. But if like I was actively getting subs every like 20 or 30 minutes, I would stay on for like, I mean, at one point I stayed on for like 4 or 5 hours, like
Mhm.
the wee hours of the morning. So yeah, that kind of sucked that I got permabanned off of there. But yeah. Yeah. So I lost 70 pounds, started doing sex work, and that's my couple year story, I guess. Mm.
2 years condensed into 2 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, well, tell us more about your weight loss journey, because that, I mean, 70 pounds isn't insignificant.
Yeah. It came off the first like 30 or 40 pounds. I want to say like 30 comes off pretty easily. Um,
Mhm.
I'm down to like I think 135, 140 now,
Mhm.
but the last little bit is so much harder. Like it
Mhm.
is so much more difficult, but I've been trying to build more muscle like around my glute area. And I was actually
God
on
bless.
Periscope. Yeah. I was actually on Periscope talking to people about this. And I was like, I don't understand what's going on. I literally train my glutes. Like I do glute activation, like isolation exercises all the time. And I feel like it was round, the shape was changing
Mhm.
and like
I've seen the shape, yeah. Mhm.
yeah, but the size wasn't doing anything. And I was like, what the
Mhm.
fuck? And some fitness people, like more fitness minded people on my Periscope were like, how much cardio are you doing? And I was like, and I like told them and they were like, whoa, like you are way overdoing it with the cardio. Your body doesn't have anything to turn into muscle. Like you're
Mhm.
literally doing all these, muscle training, like strength training workouts, and then you're like killing them. It's like, it's like planting a seed and then like drowning it in water. You need water, but like not that much. So, I switched up my routine and now like I do like a Monday, Wednesday lower body, Tuesday, Thursday upper body, and then a full body Friday, and then I only do like 15 minutes of cardio at the end. I was doing way too much, but definitely noticing a lot better results there. So, um, and honestly, I got a little bit of hate for losing weight. Um, from like a couple personal friends that basically they were like telling me that it was vanity related and that I was gonna make people feel bad by posting my before and afters. And
Who are you gonna make feel bad? The people that are too fucking lazy to lose weight?
well, basically, one of them said it was like, I just know that there's people out there that can't achieve, and I'm sorry, but like, who can't unless you're like a paraplegic, like you
Or
know
have
what I mean?
hyperthyroidism. But it's
Yeah,
like,
like,
it's not like you're out there like, I lost a whole bunch of weight, haha, fat bitches. It's
yeah, and it's also not like I'm ever being like, you need to do. I've never told anybody that they need to do what I did. Like,
yeah.
there's plenty of girls that I know, and follow on social media that are bigger bodied and that rock it, and they don't feel uncomfortable. They don't have like that's just them, and they
Yeah,
love
they have
it.
Onlyfans too.
Yeah, I didn't like being that size. Like,
Mhm.
I didn't feel. I felt like I was trapped in my
Mhm.
own body. And then like with the whole fire spinning thing when I was that big, I remember I went to 2 different flow festivals and I had the opportunity to perform in
You
a fire
gotta talk
festival.
more about that.
Yeah,
Finish this thought and then tell us
yeah,
about that.
yeah. So I went to 2 different flow festivals and had the opportunity to perform in a fire circle and I
Mhm.
didn't because I felt gross. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is, I know, like I can't, I won't. And it sucked. Like when at the point in life that you're in where you're putting down things that you love because of the way that you feel about your body, like that's like your breaking point. Like you have
Mm-hmm.
to do something because like you're literally just gonna, yeah. So with flow festivals and like fire spinning and all of that, it's basically like it's like a circus community essentially. So, you know, you have your jugglers, your hoopers, your contact jugglers, your poi spinners, fire eaters, fire breathers. Like I could go on for literally hours just
Mm-hmm.
on the amount of different types of flow that people practice and perform. But essentially, when I was 18 years old, I got into just spinning poi because I went to a couple music festivals and met people that did it and started
Spinning poi.
practicing.
What is
Yeah.
that?
So like if you see people spinning fire like on chains, poi
Mm-hmm.
is just like the practice version of that. So it's like either chains with like weighted balls on them or sock poi. Actually, hold on, I have some. Oh,
Okay.
these.
You know, you're kind of dressed like Shell today.
Yeah, the skirt. Yeah. But yeah, so these I have hoops too, but these like were my first love. But this is what you would practice with before you actually get Kevlar wicks and light them on fire. So I
How
started
do you
doing
practice
that.
with those?
How do you practice with them?
Yeah.
I mean, you
Give us
just
an
like
example.
I mean, like, so if you see somebody that's spinning, right, and you want to
Mm-hmm.
make like a flower tracer pattern, you're gonna spin the poi one way. So I'm spinning it counterclockwise, but then you're gonna make a big circle clockwise with your hand. So like this.
Oh. You know what that reminds me of?
Yeah. Hmm.
You know how when you were a kid, you had the little gear things and the pencil that you put in it, and then you grab your
Yeah.
pencil.
Yeah.
That's what that reminds me of.
That's what it looks like. Like whenever you
Yeah.
take long exposure pictures of people spinning fire, usually people
Mm-hmm.
like photographers that go to flow festivals and take pictures, not even just fire, like there's LED toys too that you can play with
Mm-hmm.
if you're not like down for the fire yet. But all the photographers that go to those festivals take long exposure photos of all these fire spinners. And it's even cooler than well, not even cooler, but it can be even cooler than watching it in person because you see like the tracer that happened within like a 2-second span around them. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I started spinning poi and then probably like a year into doing that, one of my friends just like put fire poi in my hand and I didn't think I was ready. I was like, dude, I can't. I'm scared. I can't. And I did it once and then fell in love with it. And so,
You're like fire.
yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's very intimidating at first because the flames, for one, if it's your first time, it's going to be intimidating anyway. But when you
Mm-hmm.
first light the Kevlar, the flames are the biggest they're going to get. And they die down a little bit in the middle of your spin. You'll probably get like good 2 minutes out of, one burn.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and the fire becomes more manageable. But at first it's like very hot and like in your face, huge flames. Like you get super scared, but
Did you
it's
see the TikTok of the girl who's spinning the stick with the fire on the end of it, and then the neighbors come out and she's like, "Oh, hi."
fun. No.
Oh my god! When I see that, I'll have to send it to you on TikTok.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, there's this girl. She has so it's a rod. Then it has three spokes on the end that are on fire, and
On
so
each
she's out in
side?
front. Yeah,
Oh, dragon staff.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's what. Yeah, isn't that
Yeah.
what I said? No, I'm kidding. So yeah, she's spinning it like really fucking fast. I was like, whoa! And then a dad and his daughter walk out across the street, and she's like, oh, hi. I'm
Dude,
like, hey.
I've spun fire in the city before, like when I lived in like, you know, closer city areas in my backyard. And I've had
Mm-hmm.
like the cops called on me and shit. Like, because it's like people that don't know what you're doing, that don't know that like it's a controlled thing, they're like, they freak out about it. But fire safety is also like a really like if you go to a flow festival, if you go anywhere, if you know anybody that spins fire, like you're supposed to have somebody sitting there with a damp towel in front of you. So that way, if you accidentally light your clothes, they're gonna come up there and pat it off. If you're done or whatever, you can stick your Kevlar wicks in there and they'll pat them out for you. But safety is definitely number one. I don't want anybody to see this and be like, I'm gonna go spin some fire by myself in a dry forest, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
California, we're talking to you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Um,
basically nunchucks of fire. Fire chucks.
well, and I learned how to eat fire like more recently.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, you can do like fire play essentially. So like there are people that will put a light layer of fuel like on their arm and do this, and it like makes a tracer and then goes away. Like, it's not gonna hurt you. It's literally gonna burn off, but you have to know what you're doing. But I think it would be really, really cool if I got more into that, practice that more, and then implemented that into my OnlyFans, because it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot harder to spin things around and be, lewd or naked. But like I could make some really dope content, fire eating and like doing fire play, like on
I
my
can imagine the deep throating videos now.
yeah. I'm not gonna be the one to like send a PPV, be like deep throating, and then it'd be me eating fire. They'd be like, "Fuck you, bitch!" Like,
Oh man, speaking of deep throating, so I promoted a girl, I think it was last week, and she had like this 36-inch dildo, and she was just seeing how much of it she could deep throat, and I was like, oh.
that's crazy.
I mean, I'm not even particularly turned on by this, but I'm very intrigued.
Well, I mean, it also depends on the way it feels. Like if it was a floppy one, not that bad.
It was pretty floppy.
Okay, yeah. See, I was gonna say, like, if it was like a more solid one, that is like a lot more difficult. Floppy
Mm-hmm.
one, like, it's gonna feel weird going down. I don't think I could do 36. That sounds really fucked up. One of my
She
step.
didn't. She didn't do the whole thing. I think she got maybe I don't know, like 15 inches or so.
I'm sure it's very interesting to watch. I mean, I would definitely watch. I just
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. I was looking at it before I decided how to post it. I was like, wow, that
Yeah,
is incredible.
this is talent.
I
No,
mean, most of the girls I promo, they all deep throat to me to an extent, but this girl has this. She was like that long. I was like,
dude,
ooh, okay.
I even have a hard time deep throating Max, to be honest with
Mm-hmm.
you. But that's because it's like a girth thing. Like I
Mm-hmm.
could deep throat something that's like, like that, but Max is
Mm-hmm.
like that. And
Mm-hmm.
that makes like a world of difference. Like I'm like fucking hurts. I just got this really cool like collar and leash thing, and I
Uh-huh.
put it on last night, and he was turned around making something at the stove. So I put on like this like it's like, shiny, like looks like latex or whatever, but it's like this outfit that has like mesh titties. And then I put this
Mm-hmm.
collar on, and I did it really fast so he didn't know what was going on. And he was at the stove doing something, and I got on my knees like behind him and just waited for him to turn around. He turned around and was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
You're like, my precious.
Yeah, yeah. So he grabbed the leash, and he had we tried that out or whatever,
Mhm.
just like while I was blowing him or whatever. So I want to make a video like that, but I was like, dude, if you have that much control, you got to take it easy on my throat. Like, don't go so crazy that you like hurt me. But he's like, I'm like more into like the choking, smacking,
Mhm.
degrading talk type of shit. And at one
Yeah.
point we were in the bedroom, and I was like, smack me, right? And he was like, okay. And like he did a little bit. This is like we've been together for like 3 years. This is like
Mhm.
a long time ago, a couple years ago. And he was like, okay. And I was like, okay. So he did, but it wasn't hard enough. And I was like, dude, I was like,
You're
just get the
like, no, you
fleshy
fucking
part.
bitch, hit me.
Yeah. Like get the fleshy part of my cheek. Don't go for my jaw. That's gonna hurt, like right here. And use like the tips of your fingers, essentially. And he was just like, okay. And his aim was off, and he rocked my jaw so fucking hard. And I was
Mhm.
like, God damn it. He was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And it was so hard to get him to smack me after that, because he was like, dude, I can't do this. I don't want to hurt you. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be okay regardless. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either. I mean, I don't have very good depth perception.
Yeah, he didn't have his glasses on either. I think that's probably why. But I was like, all right, well. But yeah, he's just afraid of hurting me. He's like he's 6'2" and I'm 5'2", if that tells you anything.
Mhm.
He's like enormous compared to me.
Yeah, you're
But
kind of little.
yeah, you know what's funny is that like a lot of people that will see my OnlyFans or my TikTok assume that I'm tall.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I actually thought you were like 5'8".
Yeah, no, my dad's from Ecuador though, so
Hmm.
that's
So he's
that.
like 5'2" himself.
Yeah, pretty much. No, he's convinced that he's like 5'3" or 5'4". I'm like, Dad,
Oh,
we're the same height.
what a difference.
No, I think he just wants to be taller than me.
I'd be like, just be like, you know what, Dad? Yeah, you're 5'4". You're 5'4".
It's so
Little guy.
crazy though. Like, and my mom, my mom's short too, so I just got the short
Uh-huh.
end. I literal short end of the stick.
No, you just got the stick. You're like, your mom's short, your dad's short.
True.
You got the short stick.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that the Latina thing though, that's another thing is like niches
Hmm.
for
It's
OnlyFans.
my
Like,
favorite.
dude, I mean, if you have one, everybody has one, essentially. I mean, even if you're just like everybody can find one. So like I use like Latina Bimbo a lot,
Hmm.
you know, alt girls, pogs, BBWs, like, you know, like I don't know. I like the vast sea of tags that you can just like go searching through on any given social
Hmm.
media. I love that. But also I
Yeah.
feel like people don't really assume that I'm Latina when they first see me. I get Asian a lot. I get people thinking that I'm Asian American a lot. And I'm
Oh, they're
like,
dumb. Like I can look at you and very clearly tell you are of Latin descent. I mean, you have a very light skin tone,
yeah,
but your facial structure is clearly Latin.
it's literally just because I don't go out in the sun ever.
You're like, I make my content inside. I don't
I got
need
a
the sun.
freaking Planet Fitness membership with a tanning bed,
Hmm.
like perk.
I got
And
that too, but I don't use it.
yeah, well, I got it, and I literally maybe used it 10 times, and then I got really into working out. Like I'm
Hmm.
still really into it, but like I was like in the fuck like knee deep in the shit. And by the time I had kicked my own ass that hard, I don't want to go lay in the tanning bed. I want to go home.
Yeah.
So I stopped using it. And then also the other perk being that you can bring somebody. Nobody fucking came with me. I got Max to come with me to the gym maybe 5 times. He doesn't need to. He can eat whatever the fuck he wants, never gain weight, and he does a manual labor job. So that's his like his fitness or whatever. So I was like, my membership ran out, and they were like, "Are you gonna renew with us?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I'm doing the $10 a month one. I'm not."
Hmm.
I'm not paying for all this shit that I never fucking use. Nobody comes to the gym with me. I'm so fucking pissed.
Yeah, I've been telling myself, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym tonight for like the last month and a half. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow night. Enjoy my money of Planet Fitness.
Dude, somebody talked shit to me on my like my vanilla, my like personal Instagram account. I put a story out on Instagram and I was like, it was like January, the first week of January. I was like, oh
Mhm.
my God, the gym's gonna be so packed because of all the New Year's resolutioners. Ah. And this girl was like, so you should not talk shit about them. They're trying to do something good for
Oh
themselves. Like
God,
help them, like blah blah
fucking
blah. And
Becky.
I was like, girl, I help plenty of people. Like a lot of girls that have seen me on Instagram will get my DMs and be like, how'd you do that? Will you help me? And I'm like, yeah, go to tdeecalculator.com, enter in all your information honestly. That's the calories you need. If you want, I'll help them like just by telling them what I did. You know what I mean? So her coming at me like I'm this piece of shit. I'm like, dude, it's a fucking running joke. The New Year's resolution crowd is there for 2 months and then they're gone. Like, and some of them aren't, you know what I mean? But a lot of them are. So
Hmm.
it's a joke. It's not a big deal. I'm not talking shit about anybody that's like, has a New Year's resolution to get fit. I made my decision to do that in September of 2019. I could have been like, come January 1st, New Year, new me. No, I knew that was an excuse. And I knew if I would have done that, I would have been like, I wouldn't have stuck to it. I was like, no, I'm doing this now. And I
Hmm.
remember like getting my gym membership and honestly, like Max didn't say this to be like shitty or anything, but I was committing like $25 a month to something, and he was like, "Well, I mean, like, he's like, I'm gonna support you, but like, are you gonna go?" And the Latina fiery side in me was like,
Oh hell no.
I was like, well, for sure now. Like, you know, a lot of that shit came from just wanting to spite people. And I remember telling a couple people what my body goals were, like showing people pictures of other people's bodies, or like, you know, just rough. Most of them were fucking porn stars, like, duh, you know. And I remember having a couple people be like, well, you just make sure you keep your standards realistic. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Are you telling me that I can't do this? Because I assure you I'm going to. Like, and I'm not exactly where I want to be yet, but I'm getting there, and I'm trying really
This is like Latina's 101, how to get them to do what you want them to.
hard.
Tell them not to do it.
Yeah, tell them they can't.
Well, I wasn't going to, but now I'm gonna.
Yeah, just to spite your ass. Absolutely.
Like, listen, babe, I hate the way you vacuum. Just don't do it anymore. I'll fucking show you.
I'm gonna be the best vacuum fucking robot you've ever seen.
Yeah, you know what? Just don't even touch the dishes anymore. Don't do it. Just leave them alone. Like,
oh my god. Yeah, the dishes are the bane of my existence, honestly.
They never stop. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't done dishes in like 2 months. So I just keep using the same plate over and over again. I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of this. I'll just scrub this plate and I'll use it, and then I'll rinse it off really quick. Yeah. And then, I mean, I live by myself and my cat. So it's like,
at least you're not using a bunch of paper plates. Like, a lot of people just do that and fucking throw a bunch of paper away.
I was going to. I just didn't want to spend the money. I was literally in Kroger in the aisle. I was looking at the fucking paper plates and paper bowls. I was like,
eco-conscious or cheap?
they're only $6, and then I don't have to wash them. I could just buy more.
Yeah. A lot of people I've seen, they will literally take a plate and they'll put what is it? Or a bowl. I saw somebody take a cereal bowl and put a fucking sandwich bag over it and put their cereal and milk, and then just take it out and just keep using sandwich bags over their bowls.
See, what I do with my cereal bowl, not plural cereal bowl, I eat my cereal, then I rinse it out with water, and I put it next to the sink until I'm ready to use it again.
Yep.
Boom. Who needs more than one bowl?
Nobody. There's way too many bowls in my house. It's crazy. I did just have to buy spoons because I think that somebody keeps throwing away spoons in my house on accident.
Because that sounds like something a person would do.
I think that, yeah, because like if it's on your plate and you're like not paying attention, I don't know where the fuck they are. I know like
Max is like, you know what? Fuck this spoon. We can get more.
I know one of my spoons is in the freezer for when I have zits. That's it. That's it. But I don't know, man.
When you guys move, you gotta look behind the TV. It's like, oh, there they are.
Or like probably like behind the fridge or like in between the stove and the counter. I'm sure there's all kinds of shit down there. And I'm sure that I'm missing. I'm sure a lot of the socks that I'm missing are like behind my dryer too. But
speaking of socks and TikTok, did you see the video of this person? So they use the audio and they're all dryer vent check, and this guy puts like a snake in a dryer vent and then pulls out all this bullshit. Have you seen that?
I think that Max showed me that. I think because I remember him being like showing me something and he was like, I have no idea how their house didn't catch on fire.
So I commented on it. My comment was all, found your socks. And it got like 9,000 likes.
Nice.
Yep. I consider myself a TikTok comment comedian.
Did you see the video that I did about the Kraken?
No, I need to follow you from my personal page because I follow you from the Real Onlyfans Reviews TikTok.
Well, have you seen the TikTok trend that has like the bum bum beat 'em? What's wrong with me? Why do I feel like this? Like the Rihanna song. Okay. And it's like having sexual responses to things or whatever as a kid or whatever. Well, I did one. I have like a corset and like this period piece. It looks like I'm like a pirate from fucking Pirates of the Caribbean. And I'm like sitting and I put a green screen video of like tentacles doing this behind me. And my caption was, when the Kraken emerges from the deep ocean to take down the entire ship and its crew. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? Like this. And it got 12,000 likes and like 60,000 views. And it's so funny. I never get good TikTok ideas ever. And when that one came to me, I was like in that outfit, just making videos like in a costume. And I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. Like, no, I haven't seen it before. So I don't know. I also thought about making content in those outfits, even though they're
Mm-hmm.
they have a good amount of cleave, but like,
Mm-hmm.
they're long. But I feel like I could
It
do
could be sea shanty content.
yeah, yeah, some like
You could be
dance.
listening to like Dropkick Murphys and like, oh, suck your dick.
Dude, somebody on Twitter asked me if I would do like damsel in distress content. Like they wanted me to have
Mm-hmm.
like gag and like a gag in my mouth and they wanted me to be in all velvet. And I was just like, that's a
Mm-hmm.
a very specific request. I don't think I have anything in all velvet. But I don't know. I really like doing custom content though, especially for the subs that purchase it a lot. I have
Mm-hmm.
one sub that literally has ordered I think 3 customs. Um and he writes me a fucking script every single time.
You know, I've heard of that from a few models. I wonder if it's the same guy for all of you.
Yeah,
He's
right?
like, you're all my actors.
I love it. I love it. I mean, I was a theater kid growing up, so if somebody
Mhm.
hands me like literature to fucking like memorize, I love that shit. Like I love getting custom orders from him because I might have to refilm them a couple times. I think that my Valentine's Day dildo just got here. Pretty sure that
Nice.
yeah. I
Yeah, I
actually
heard something that sounded like a van or something like that.
yeah. I filmed some
You can
stuff.
check if you want to.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, she
Oh.
just probably put it on the porch. It's not a big deal. But I made a bunch of content for Valentine's Day yesterday, forgetting that I had gotten that. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm gonna have 2 Valentine's Day posts because I have to make something with that. But it's really cute. It looks like looks like a Moon thing, but with like a heart on the end, kind of. But I really like glass wands, so I'm trying
I
to
was gonna say, is it glass?
Mhm.
Because I think I've seen girls use that one before.
Yeah, I found it on Amazon. It was like $15, but I was like, I didn't
How
real
much do you love Amazon?
oh
Because
my God.
I do.
Dude, I literally only buy my makeup from there at this point because for
Mm-hmm.
some reason it's cheaper on Amazon than going into the fucking Walmart and buy because I just use drugstore makeup. I'm not like bougie or anything. There's some
Mm-hmm.
girls out here that are literally paying $40 for a bottle of foundation. Like I can't. But yeah, everything is just like everything that I need is cheaper there. The only thing that sucks is when you're trying to buy like sex toys, um there's like weird filters on them. Half the time they're not prime. And also, when you do find like, okay, Twitter has a bunch of these vendors that will message models. I've gotten like 5 of these messages, and they'll be like, "Do you want to test out this sex toy?" They'll have send me like a photo with like 5 different toys on it. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Pick whichever one you want, and we'll give it to you for free for a review." Right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I went through the whole spiel with one of them one time. They wanted to see my Amazon account stats to know that it was active for more than however many days. They wanted to know that I had spent money on it actually. And then they were like, we'll PayPal you for the toy.
Mm-hmm.
You buy the toy and then you leave a review when you get it. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then the PayPal thing kind of freaked me out because PayPal is one of the only non-sex worker friendly money sites, and
Mm-hmm.
PayPal's a lot easier to get chargebacks. You know what I mean? So like just the fact that they were so insistent on using PayPal, like I'm like, you could Venmo me. Like but I'm afraid that they're I don't know, I'm just paranoid, I
I
guess.
actually did a giveaway with one of those companies a while back, Dorame, but it worked pretty much the same way.
So
So
they're not trying to scam me.
I don't know about the company you worked with, but the one I worked with wasn't.
There's a bunch.
And
I don't
the girl, I actually kind of became friends with the girl that was running the account that worked for Dorme.
right.
Yeah, I mean, her English wasn't excellent, but I mean, it was pretty good. I was like, we were able to talk and go back and forth a little bit.
Adora May or whatever makes lingerie too, right?
I have no idea.
Pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure I've bought stuff with that on the tag before. I get a lot of my outfits from like Shein, like fast fashion, like China
Hmm.
shit, because it's so cheap. It's literally like $9 to $15 a set. So, like, people shit on fast fashion a lot, but I feel like that's very classist. Like, a lot of us can't afford to buy, you know, Victoria's Secret everything.
I haven't even heard of that one.
And it's like It's like the Shein and Romwe and Fashion Nova. It's all like fast fashion, but like most of it's
Hmm.
like extremely cheap. So the fact that they offer lingerie is nice. If they, I don't know. I got a sub, a sub willingly bought me this one of those confetti dildos. I don't know if you've seen
Hmm.
them. Yeah, so he wanted to get me one, and I was like, "Dope, I'm into it." And we found like a very large one, and he bought it for me. And I've used it, a couple times, but I noticed like every time I use it, it irritates my skin really bad. Um,
Mm.
in that area. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know if there's like phthalates or like I don't know, something's going on with it. So I regrettably had to tell him. I was like, look, I'm gonna have to retire this for POV blowjobs. And if I do use it that way, I'm probably gonna have to like put a put a rubber on it because I don't.
It's
That's what
from
I'm
China. It's probably got lead or insecticides or something in it.
Yeah. Yeah, but like all the reviews were really good, and I was like, all right, whatever. I was
Well,
like,
yeah, because they paid for those reviews. They said it's a free. They sent them all out for free.
right? God. Yeah. So I don't know. That's the only
Well,
mishap.
you know how businesses in China work, right?
How?
So the Chinese government subsidizes pretty much everything, as I understand it. So as long if there's a Chinese company making shit, if a Chinese company is trying to get the upper hand of a company from some other country,
Mhm.
the Chinese company can sell all their products at a loss, and then the Chinese government will reimburse them for it.
So there's like no accountability at all.
Welcome to China.
That's crazy. Whoa.
Yeah, that's what because the whole monetary policy that was an issue was because of the monetary manipulation that China does with their businesses and how they can produce things for so cheap because the companies literally don't have to worry about losing money.
Yeah. Completely risk free. Do whatever the hell we
Yep.
want. Wow.
Yep. I need to open a Chinese factory. Start
See,
making real OnlyFans reviews t-shirts.
that's another reason why like I was kind of sketched out about the sex toy review thing. But if you get into like the OnlyFans girls Discord, it's like for sex workers. If you talk about that in there, they're all ranting and raving about it. Like, yes, I have so many free sex toys from them. Like blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, but like, are they like? I don't know. Are they gonna break me out? Because like at some point, I would rather just buy my own. My
I'd
wand,
rather get American made.
ugh, my wand, it was really funny. It was probably like the first month I was on OnlyFans. I was in a sex
Mhm.
store and I was like, oh my God, I've wanted one of these for so long. But I wanted the model, like the newest model. So it has 4 settings. It can be used plugged in or not plugged in. So I really liked that aspect of it. So I took a picture of it sitting on the wall at the sex shop, and I put a little like fundraiser thing, and I was like, I literally would love you all forever if you guys funded this for me. Like, it's just like a staple that every sex worker should have for one. And y'all will get so many videos of me using it, which I held true on my word too. I literally use that. It's like my favorite thing ever. But it was crazy. They all funded it within like 24 hours. It was like $130 fucking vibrator.
Mhm.
And I was so grateful. Like every time I would log back in and see that I was like closer to my goal, I was like, oh my God. And every single person that donated, I put them on a list called wand donors. And they got the first like full length video of me using it in their DMs. Like it was exclusive to them. But yeah, that was really cool. That was like the first big item that I ever got funded by them. And then yesterday I posted a vlog, which I have never really done before, but I made a poll recently where I was like, would you guys like seeing more casual content from me? So like naked mukbangs where I'm like eating and talking, or like vlogs behind the scenes, and they all were like into it. So it was like a 4-minute vlog or whatever.
Mhm.
And the response was really good. Like I have really, really nice subs. I'm very grateful because nothing that I put out, they're just always really fucking appreciative. Like this one guy knows that rebuilders perks are a thing. Most people do that are on there. But every time he gets one, he goes, "Oh my God, thank you, Kirra." Like every time. And like, I'm sure a bunch of other people are getting their rebuilders perks like, yep, every day. Like it's just a routine now. But he's just like so appreciative. I don't know. That's one thing is like, I think that people have a really shitty outlook on sex work sometimes. They're like, oh yeah, you're just getting degraded all day for money and you're just doing whatever these people tell you. Like, and it's like, no. Like,
Well, I mean, even if it was that, what are you fucking doing at your day job?
yeah.
Doing what the fuck somebody else is telling you?
Licking somebody's
Right?
boot. Licking somebody's boot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some-
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think it's funny, like the view outlook that people have on that. It's just like, no, like if you all saw like it's like literally my whole goal was just to build a really sex positive community of mutual masturbation buddies. You
Mhm.
know? Like, I don't know. I've always been like extremely sex positive even before I even like even when I was in like a religious, you know, setting, I knew that I was a little I mean, I knew I was bisexual from the time I was like 14 on. And I remember telling my mom the first time I kissed a girl, she was like, okay. I was like, are you mad? And she was like, no, I just think it's a phase. And I was like, why? And she goes, I know you like boy parts. And I was like, I can like both.
Yeah.
Like,
The Katy Perry song came on, and you're like, oh, it's my shit.
I remember how controversial that song was when it first came out because I was like 15 when that song came out.
Mhm.
And I remember people being like the women at my mom's or at my parents' church being like, this song just came out.
Just like that.
Just like that. Song just came out. It's tainting the minds of our youth. Christ.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, you sing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So
There's
are
some
you?
stuff on TikTok, but I mean, understandably so, I guess. Every time I post like a singing music video on TikTok, I'll get like 15 likes. And if I post one where I'm shaking my ass, it gets like 700. Like,
Well, shit. My drumming videos get like 15 views.
oh my God. It's like,
Yeah.
it's such a hard algorithm to manipulate because you're like, do I even need to put hashtags or is that suppressing me? And then you don't
Yeah.
put
No
hashtags
kidding.
and you get a bunch of shit. And then you do, like, it's just, it doesn't make sense. There's literally no science to it. It's just completely random. And then I did that silhouette challenge and it got fucking taken down when literally all of TikTok did that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that red light silhouette challenge. I was just like, okay. It stayed up on one of my alternate accounts, but it got taken down on my main account. And I was just like, it's just to the point where like anybody can report your shit, even if they just don't like you, and they'll take your shit
Mm-hmm.
down. So
Yeah. So I did a drum cover of Shakira's "Whenever, Wherever," and it was pretty good. I like fucking vibe with it a lot because I was using a lot of toms in the kind of like the transition parts. I was like,
mhm.
fuck, this is so good. Like this is how the song should normally go. And there's is like I think got maybe like 120 views, but like 15 likes. I was like, well, I mean, how come you don't show this video to more people?
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
there's people liking it.
did you was it in like portrait mode or was it in like landscape, like in the middle of the screen?
So it was for YouTube, so it was in landscape mode.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos that are in landscape mode get suppressed even when they're like really fucking good. For some
Hmm.
reason, like TikTok just doesn't like they like their portrait slidey format a lot. And I've seen really good content like musicians, fucking pole dancers, like really talented people that should have definitely got more likes, just be super suppressed just because of the format of their video. And I know that
Yep.
that's what it is. I'm like, dude, there's no reason why this shouldn't have at least 20,000 likes on it. Like,
It
it's
was
great.
so funny. I think like my third TikTok video, I don't have a lot up, but like the third one, I did a real estate comparison between Dallas and LA because I'm from California and I fucking hate California. So I did a video of what $1.2 million gets you for a house in LA. It was like a small fucking rinky dink house. Then I
Uh-huh.
did $1.2 million in Dallas and it's a literal fucking mansion. And
Uh-huh.
that got over 10,000 likes. I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. I did a fucking video about dyscalculia, which is like a offshoot or symptom of ADHD where you have a really hard time telling your left from your right. You have a
Hmm.
hard time reading like, old school clocks, a couple of other things, but really what resonated with me was that I have a really hard time with my left and my right. And I
Hmm.
have forever. If I have to quick recall, I literally have to do this. and I'm
Mhm.
almost 30 years old. So I thought it was really interesting, and I posted a video about like the description of what that was, and I was just like, hey, if you have these issues, you're not stupid. You just have dyscalculia. And that's sitting at like 30,000 likes right now. So
Oh man.
that format, like informative videos, people like them to save them
Mhm.
because, like, or recipe videos, anything that somebody's going to want to put in their pocket for later, those always get a good amount of exposure just because, people are trying to save them. But
So
that's interesting.
speaking of knowing your left from your right, so whenever I think about directions, when I go left and right, I always have to go think left. Okay, that's this one first. And it's so funny because when I was younger, whenever somebody asked me which way something was, I always just said, "Oh yeah, it's that way, it's to the right." Every single
Right.
time, it's not. Oh yeah, it's that way. It's like, and
Uh,
then my old man mate's like, you ever notice that you always point to the right and wherever we want to go is never to the right? I was like, I never noticed that before.
Max gets mad at me when I'm giving him direct, like when he's driving, and he'll be like, "Which way am I going?" And I'll be like, "That way," or like I'll barely point, and he'll be like, "Which way?" And I'm like, Right." Like it takes me a second, and then
Mhm.
sometimes I say the wrong one, and then I make him get in a turning lane that he didn't need to get into, and then he gets really frustrated. It's like, girl.
So I was dating this one girl, the only girl I've ever yelled at. So we were going to a drive-in and she knew how to get there. I didn't. And so she was obviously rising in the passenger seat. And so she's supposed to be giving me directions of how to get to wherever the fuck we're going. And like she constantly forgot to say, "Oh yeah, turn here. Oh yeah, turn there." And like we would pass turns, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you were supposed to turn there." And
Oh my
then, like I don't know how many times this happened, but
god.
finally we were on the freeway and we had to take this one exit. And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, you were supposed to go there." I was like, "God damn it!" It was like the only time I've ever yelled at a girl like that.
It's
And I was like,
so much
can
worse when
you
you're
pay attention? Just give me the address. I went on my phone. I looked at the directions for myself. I was like, see, I wanted to do this originally
yeah.
just because I always do things this way. But
Yeah.
she's like, no, I can just tell you get there. It's like, no, fuck that. Do
No,
you remember
GPS
the
all
band?
the way.
Yeah, always. I don't even care. Like whenever I'm going somewhere from my apartment, even here in Dallas, I don't care if I know how to get there. If it's more than 15 minutes away, I use my nav because there's sometimes traffic.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
It's the only foolproof way. Max said something the other day. It was really funny. We were going somewhere and he was like, "Did you pull up the map quest?" I was like, "The map quest?" He's like, "That's what they still call it, right?" And he's joking, obviously.
hmm
I'm like, God, we're old. Like, we're-
So, do you remember the band Psycho Stick?
it sounds familiar, but not like
They were the
completely.
band that had the beer song, Beer is good, beer is good, beer is
Yes.
good. Yeah, so
Yes.
they're a great band. They actually have a song called Girl Directions. And so it's this entire song of this woman giving just the worst directions ever, and the guy just getting really upset.
That sounds very relatable.
Yeah, it's a pretty great song. You need to look it up.
Funny. So wait, is
Psycho,
their whole shtick like songs like that?
uh huh.
Like comedy songs?
Yep. They also have a song called NSFW, and the only word in it is fuck. And it first of all, they're all great musicians, and then it's just funny the way you do things. Like fuckity fuck 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 fuck. It's so great.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Beer was a great song. They had another one called Throwing Down, and that one was about the singer getting into fights with his girlfriend. It was great. They had piece of shit car song.
This reminds me of like the metal version of like the Lonely Island.
Pretty much, yeah.
Lonely Island's really funny too. That
Yep.
song, I Threw It on the Ground, was always me and my little sister's favorite.
Got to get boats and hoes.
Dude, it's so funny. Also, what the fuck? Flight of the Concords.
hmm
They're so funny too. I
I
love them.
never watched that show.
Dude, I never watched the show. I just like look up their songs on YouTube because they were so
hmm
funny to me. I was like, dude.
Oh, it's like the song from the TV show "Fuck Me in the Ass" because I love Jesus.
Is that a TV show? I've heard that sound on TikTok, but I never knew where it came from.
Yeah, it came from some show. I don't know what show it was on, but yeah, that's a genius song too.
Oh my God. No, I've seen a lot of, I've never used that TikTok sound. I probably should. You know what's really funny? What I've noticed is one of a really good audio that gets me like a lot of attention and clicks and likes and shit. I've used it on 3 different accounts, and every single time it gets at least 1,000 likes. But it's the audio that's like, "Hi, oh, your name's Matt. I never heard that before. Do you like lizards, Matt? I love lizards. Do you want to see my asshole?" So every single time I've used that sound, every single time, it's been liked up, and the comments are filled with either people whose name is Matt or people that are like, "My name's not Matt, but it can be." Like,
That's some shit I would say.
it's so funny. And then the second time I posted it, I put a caption and I was like, "The last time I posted this sound, my Instagram DMs were flooded with people named Matt." And I was like testing something, and then I'd go check my Instagram DMs and look at my little requests, and I would have like at least 5 or 6 people like, "My name's Matt." Haha.
I think I would comment on there like, well, I don't care about your lizard, but the rest of that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of comments like that, or people that are like, "Whoa, chill." Like,
I hate it when people comment shit like that. Like, oh, you need to calm down. Like, fool, shut the fuck up.
yeah, if we all calm down, this app would be hella boring. So
Yeah.
I'm not.
Like, it's so funny to me how, especially when there's guys that are all like slut shaming and shit. It's like, fool, are you gay or something? Like,
No,
uh,
I made a video that was to that song that was like, "Good evening, is this available?" You know that one?
oh, I love that song so
Yeah.
fucking much.
Yeah. So I made a video that was like basically outlining how guys will be like, "Girls are hot," and then I'm
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, they're really hot. It's really cool that we can capitalize on it now." And they're like, "Ew, no." And then I'm like, "What? Well, I'm confused." And then they're like, their thoughts like, "I would never subscribe or pay money for a hoe on the internet, blah blah blah." And then at the end when it's like the Sanks or whatever,
Thanks.
I put what did I put? Consumes Reality Kings content.
Yeah.
Something.
God, I love that song so much. I think I listen to that like once a day. It's
Dude,
just
that
that
dude
part.
is
Yeah, it's
talented.
just that part where he breaks down like, I know I'm no longer interested. Please stop contacting me now or I'll contact Attorney General if you do not stop. Thanks.
Dude,
It goes
like,
so hard.
I know, like it literally sounds like a fucking Coldplay song or something.
It sounds
Like
like
if
The
you
Weekend
weren't,
to me.
yeah, if you weren't listening to the lyrics, it would be like a bop. It's still a
Yeah.
bop, but it's like funny. And then the one that he did about the broccoli casserole recipe.
I haven't seen that one.
It's so funny. It's really, really
There's
funny.
another girl who samples songs like that. And so she has this one of a cat that falls into a lake. Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh, I gotta send it to you.
Yeah,
How does it go? Oh man. There's that one, then there's another one. So that one's my favorite, but there's another one where it's a fat cat on a treadmill. And I always have those lyrics stuck in my head. So she goes, I'm just a cat on a treadmill. I could use a big meal or something like that. But it's like this girl makes such catchy songs off these samples.
dude, that's what I'm saying. And like videos like that on TikTok will do really fucking well because people want to save them to show them to people. Also, they want to like anything funny. People, if they want to share it, like that gets your engagement up too. I know
Mm-hmm.
that tentacle video that I did was shared a couple hundred times, and I posted the reel on my Instagram story, um, and I tagged Bad Dragon because a lot of people were like, definitely own a Bad Dragon. I don't own a Bad Dragon yet, but
They're gonna sponsor you. Like, here, fuck this.
did you see that? I literally was like, I wrote, "Can I get a Bad Dragon sponsorship over here on Instagram?" And they liked the video and followed me.
And they didn't send you one?
No, I don't know.
Bastards.
I wasn't being like for real. I don't expect them to send me free shit. I was
Fuck
just
that. Message them.
well,
Hey,
I
it
messaged
doesn't hurt to
them.
ask.
I said thanks for the follow, and they liked the
Mm-hmm.
message. But I'm sure that there's a bunch of people running their account. But I thought it was really funny because like I didn't even expect them to see it, and they like followed me solely based off that tentacle video. And then there's a couple of my subs that are like, "You should get a Bad Dragon." I'm like, "Well, y'all should help me fund it because they're expensive." Like,
Yeah, so
Go.
I promoted this one girl a while back. She was a tiny girl, traffics. I mean, she hates me now because she said my promo was bullshit, but we all know that's bullshit. And so, anyways, so she had a bad dragon and she put the whole thing in her ass. I was like,
Dude,
impressive.
they have some really big models. They have some
Yeah.
like cutesy ones too, but I don't know. They also have there's like I don't know, from what I remember seeing, they have like really big ones that aren't like fantasy related. I've seen maybe it wasn't Bad Dragon, but I've seen some companies that do the dragon ones, the alien ones. They'll do like
Hmm.
a bunch of fantasy creatures, and then they'll also do like a horse. And I'm like, dude, and I've seen videos of girls using the horse ones, and I'm just like, because they're like huge and they're flared. So you have to get the flare through before you can even fucking use them. And the one girl that I saw using it on Pornhub, she used it and it was one of the ones that you could fill with like fake jizz and like
Uh-huh.
pump into yourself. That was crazy. Like that was one of the craziest toy videos I've ever seen. I was like pushing limits. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like
That just
things
makes me think
happening.
of the movie with the character Horse Dick Dot MPEG. What movie was that? Do you remember?
I don't.
Oh man, I need to Google it. That was such a great movie. But then it turns out like the guy whose name is Horse Dick Dot MPEG didn't actually have a penis.
Oh my
I'm kind of worried about when I Google this. What's gonna come up?
god.
Horse
Oh
Dick
god.
dot no. Horse Dick dot MPEG. Oops. Let's see. What movie was it? Horse Dick dot MPEG. Miss March. That's what
This
it was
month.
from. Yeah. So Horstick.mpeg is a rapper. And
Okay.
so he raps about like having sex and whatnot and all these dirty things.
Mhm.
When in reality, he doesn't have a penis, so he's never had sex, but you don't find this out till spoiler alert, the end of the movie.
Oh,
But this whole time, like, yeah, call me Horstick.mpeg. I got a song on the internet. You know how many people use the internet? Half of them.
man, I feel like I realize more and more how uncultured I am. There's so many older videos and movies that I haven't seen.
Same.
I literally watched the original Ghostbusters last weekend.
I've never seen that movie.
See, like it was good though. It actually kept my attention. And for like a 80s, 90s movie, for it to keep my attention like that was pretty good. It was pretty good. I haven't seen the newer one either, but Bill Murray's funny. Oh my god,
I don't know what.
my stomach is growling. I'm gonna have to bounce and eat lunch here in a little bit.
That's fine. Yeah, I got to do some other stuff too. But yeah, I don't know any movies that Bill Murray's been in. And like I said, I've never seen Ghostbusters, but I know the song or the melody at least.
Yeah. Iconic. Absolutely. The only other Bill Murray movie that I can think of off the top of my head is the Groundhog Day movie, and honestly, that one was boring to me.
Never seen it.
It's boring. I wouldn't recommend it, but Ghostbusters was really funny.
Yeah.
And like more like newer actors, like comedy wise, I really like Danny McBride. I think he's fucking hilarious. And obviously like Seth Rogen and Michael Cera and shit. But Jonah Hill and Danny McBride are probably like my two favorites. I love them.
See, I'm so terrible with names of people. Like a lot of the time people say actors and actresses names and I'm
Yeah.
like I don't know who that is. Like same with people in bands, like people say like the
Mhm.
fucking bass player from I don't know, from first to last and like I don't know who you're talking about. You have to say what they play and what band they're in. I don't know who that
Yeah.
is.
Well, have you seen This Is the End? Have you seen that movie where it's like the end of the world and it's all like those comedians together in the house and they have to like navigate the apocalypse? Have you ever seen it?
I've heard of it but I haven't seen it.
Okay, you need to watch that movie. It's so fucking funny. But Danny McBride's in that. There's 30 minutes or less that he was into with what the hell's his name? Jesse Eisenberg.
Mhm.
But yeah, both of those movies are really
Like
really.
from Breaking Bad?
I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
know.
Have you
I've
seen Breaking Bad?
I've seen like intermittent. I've never watched like the whole thing through. I don't know. For some
It was a
reason,
pretty great show.
yeah, I know it's definitely, received many accolades. It's just like, I don't know, my attention span is so like my favorite show of all time is American Horror Story. So like if that tells you anything, there needs to be weird shit happening literally every 2 minutes.
Robot Chicken.
Yeah, I like Robot Chicken. Yeah,
That song was great.
I have a very fucking short attention span.
I just like the song. God, that was like, I don't know how they thought of that. I don't know how high they were, but that was like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, the theme song for South Park too. That's a really good one.
Oh yeah, by Primus. God.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Primus? Are they still a band?
I think so. Well, Les Claypool, like if you go on Spotify, there's like 2 or 3 different offshoot projects that Les Claypool does. So I think I'm not sure.
I don't know. Is he the singer or?
He's the bass player. But
okay.
in Primus, the bass player is the focal point. Like in a lot of bands, obviously it's like the lead guitarist or whatever. But in Primus, he's just like an insane bass player. But
yeah, the best bass player is obviously Primus, and also the bass player from Mudvayne. That fool can fucking play like goddamn.
Yeah, bass is probably like one of my favorite elements of music to listen to. Honestly, like if there's like a dirty bass drop, like a head bobbable bass line, usually
a head bobbable, tongue twister.
Yeah, head bobbable bass.
Yeah. But all right, I'm gonna let you go because I gotta do some stuff too. It was super great talking with you. We'll have to do this again sometime.
Likewise. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.